What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Hollow Knight Silksong. Put on the clown makeup, hopefully, and maybe I've already said this, but hopefully one more time, right? Now, there's two things I kind of want to talk about. I really do want to focus on Gamescom and the potential release date, and all, but I do want to just leave the door cracked open. I don't want to use all of my hopium or copium, whatever it might be, for tomorrow for the Nintendo Direct. Let me just walk myself through that really fast in the beginning of this video, and then we'll get to the Gamescom one, because to be honest with you, I don't think the odds are high for tomorrow, and I will explain why, though. Okay, so tomorrow we get a Nintendo Direct, and it's third party. Now, that is a chance. There is a chance, and I think clown makeup should always be at the ready whenever you have a chance with this game, for any reason, right? The thing is, though, and this kind of does lead me almost directly right away to Gamescom. So Hollow Knight's played a weird game with their promotion, and I'm not going to try to pretend like I'm an expert at like how this all works, but I do want to try to walk myself through like what they have done. So they've done stuff at a Nintendo Directs of the past, okay? There's been like legit trailers, legit showing off the game. Also, you think about when we saw it twice recently, right? But the time that was the first time of, say, like this calendar year was at the Nintendo Direct, one of the Nintendo Directs, where they did like that sizzle reel, right? They were talking about third-party, like Yakuza was part of it, right? Third-party games coming to the Switch 2. And this game was like, 5-6 seconds of that sizzle reel. Now, I don't even know if that's enough to qualify it, right? To like say, okay, well, they did it. But I mean, they did. It is there. And again, they have had a full-length trailer at a Nintendo Direct of the past. Okay, but what about the most recent time we saw it? Well, it was actually Xbox. And you think about you think about this game with Xbox, they've also shown a trailer. I think they showed one trailer at an Xbox event, one at a Nintendo Direct. So they're technically even there. Then they did a sizzle reel at the Nintendo Direct. But then at the Xbox event back in June, they literally, I mean, this is like the number one thing that Xbox wants to throw in front of your face to say, hey, get the Xbox handheld, right? I mean, there's other games there. It's not designed specifically for Hollow Knight, but gosh darn it, we have Hollow Knight coming out on it. And don't forget, it's on Game Pass, right? So that's a huge deal. But I mean, if you watch that Xbox event, it was mentioned multiple times. It was shown off. It was like when they showed like how the UI looks for it, like Hollow Knight was right there. So it was so prominent. I guess prominent is actually a good word, right? It wasn't really all that prominent in that sizzle reel because it was just part of a collection of other games, but it was very prominent with the Xbox handheld. So, okay, where does that leave us? Does it leave us with a chance for tomorrow? I think it does, but I just feel like because of Game Pass, because of recency bias, because of what they just did with that handheld, I would take the under that it appears tomorrow at the Direct. Look, I mean, if it happens, then great. Like, we pulled the ultimate jinx off. I would wish nothing more than to be wrong, about this. Hopefully, though, okay, no matter if I'm right, if I'm wrong. Well, if I'm wrong, then we get the announcement tomorrow, which would be phenomenal. If I'm right and we don't get the announcement tomorrow, okay, now we move on to Gamescom, which we'll do this kind of news part really, really quick. So I think 2 days ago, it was announced that it's actually going to have a demo on the show floor, and I believe it's through Xbox. So by the way, that is important too, because it very much, again, I'm not an expert, but I try to pay attention and try to like remember these things in my head so I have some sort of experience with it. Normally when that happens, that does indicate like that like market exclusivity of the game. Like if Hogwarts Legacy was only playable on PlayStation had those marketing rights. So they tend to partner up, right? Like the brand or the company that they're more like in sync with, and they might literally have a marketing deal. When it goes to show floors, and this could be at like PAXs of the world and Comic-Cons and all this kind of stuff, when it appears, it'll be on that platform. So it's on an Xbox. You can play it on an Xbox at the show floor on Gamescom. So to me, that means two things. Number one, again, there's your buddy up system with Xbox. I think that marketing is with Xbox. So to me, it leans more Gamescom. And I guess that's part two, right? Like, if they're going to have a demo at Gamescom where you can actually play it, which, by the way, I think The Outer Worlds 2, which comes out in October, is having a hands-off demo. Like, you'll be able to watch people play it, but you won't be able to play it yourself at Gamescom. To be honest with you, I don't think that's a great sign, but whatever. It's a Hollow Knight video. Hollow Knight is hands-on. You will literally, if you go to Gamescom, you wait in line, whatever, you will literally be able to play it right then and there. So I think that's a great sign. I think that shows it's ready. I think that shows confidence, all sorts of other things. But it also, by the way, just means it's there. If it's there at Gamescom, what's stopping it from having a trailer at the opening night live, which I think is August 19th, and there's where you get the release date. Like, I mean, again, this game's supposed to come out in the fall. We had all those like teases, hints with like, oh, it'll be available for the handheld, the Xbox handheld. They made it sound like it comes out day one, but then Team Cherry clarified and said, no, we're not beholden to any console, right? Like, we're not waiting for the Xbox handheld to release Hollow Knight. That's what they said directly after, because there was a lot of confusion there. So while there was confusion there, I do still think it's tied to it, and I also think it probably comes out close to it. So I would not be shocked if Hollow Knight was like late October, early November, and then like a week later or 2 weeks later, the Xbox handhelds come out. Like, I could absolutely see it. So, if you're looking at like an early November release date, you got to do it. You got to do it by August, by late August, because, to do it in September and to give people a month, like, is it possible? Yes. Has it happened before? Yes. But most times it doesn't. Most times for games, even though it's not the biggest game of all time, it is actually quite a big game. You tend to give 2, 3, 4, 5 months notice for pre-order, and that's still important to companies. Pre-orders and just kind of the back end type stuff with like putting it on the store fronts and store pages. You don't do it in a month. Normally you give more time than that. So showing it off and announcing the date end of August, I think you could do 2 months later, 2.5 months later, early November. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So clown makeup's on for tomorrow. I think it's unlikely, but I have optimism because I think that it's just a quick turnaround, and hopefully we get a Gamescom anyway. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, the icon turned on, and hope to see you all on the next one.